Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and my sisters. Tonight, I want you to listen with your heart, not your ears. Because what I'm about to share is not a lecture. It's a reminder your soul has been quietly waiting for. We live in a world where people chase two things endlessly: money and fame. People wake up thinking about it, go to sleep dreaming about it, and spend their entire lives believing that once they have it, they'll finally feel complete. But let me tell you something softly, gently, honestly. If money and fame truly brought peace, the richest and most famous people in the world would be the happiest. But they're not. Some of them can't sleep at night. Some drown in fear and anxiety. Some smile in public and cry behind closed doors. Some have crowds around them, yet they feel painfully alone inside their hearts. Because money fills your hands, but it cannot fill your chest. Fame can surround you with people, but it cannot give you a connection. Success can give you applause, but it cannot give you purpose. Only Allah can do that. But the dunya tricks you. It glamorizes the things that destroy you. It convinces you that your worth is tied to numbers, your income, your likes, your followers, your achievements. You see people flexing online, showing luxury, cars, watches, vacations, brands, and somewhere in your heart, a whisper says, maybe if I had that, I'd feel happier. But the truth is, dunya's happiness expires. It doesn't stay. It fades as quickly as it comes. And then you're left with that same emptiness, the same restlessness, the same longing that no amount of money or followers can fill. I want you to think back for a moment. Remember the last time you bought something you really wanted? The excitement was real, but how long did it last? A day, a week, and then your heart wanted something else. That's the nature of the dunya. It never sat. It's fierce. It never completes. It never heals. But your heart was never designed for the dunya. It was created for Allah. This is why the more you chase the world, the heavier your soul becomes. And the more you chase Allah, the lighter your soul feels. You see, true peace doesn't come when life becomes perfect. True peace comes when your heart becomes connected. Think about the moments when you felt closest to Allah. Maybe it was during Ramadan, or in the middle of a sincere dua, or in sujood after a painful day, or when you cried alone on a prayer mat. In those moments, you felt a calmness that money could never buy. You felt a sweetness that fame could never provide. You felt a peace that success could never replace. Because your heart tasted what it was created for, Allah's closeness. But somewhere along the journey, the dunya distracted you. It made you chase the spotlight instead of sincerity. It made you chase wealth instead of contentment. It made you chase people instead of your Creator. And without realizing it, you started measuring your worth through the eyes of creation instead of the eyes of the one who created you. But tonight, just pause, just breathe, just let your heart hear this truth. Your status does not define you. Your income does not define you. Your followers do not define you. The dunya does not define you. You are defined by your heart and how close it is to Allah. And if you lost everything tomorrow but still had Allah, then you would still have everything that truly matters. Because the dunya is temporary, but Allah is eternal. And the one who holds on to Allah never loses. If this message touched your heart, don't just leave quietly. Take a moment, let it sink in. And if even one sentence reached you, tap the like button, not for numbers, but so this reminder finds someone who needs it tonight. Share your thoughts in the comments. Even if it's just one word, your word might be the reason someone else finds hope again. Share this video with a friend, a sibling, or someone fighting a silent battle. You never know whose heart you might save. And if you want more reminders like this, if you're going to grow, heal, and return to Allah with a stronger heart, then subscribe to Message Humming and become part of a family that is striving for something greater, one reminder at a time. Don't just scroll away, carry this message with you and let it change you, Ya Allah, for the tired hearts, for the souls that are hurting, for the ones who smile in front of people but cry silently when no one sees them. Have mercy on us, Ya Allah. We are weak, and you know how weak we are. You see the battles we don't speak about, the wounds we hide, the fears we bury deep inside. Ya Allah, heal us in ways we cannot explain. Ya Allah, Some of us are breaking quietly, carrying pain we never asked for, fighting wars no one knows about. Please don't leave us to ourselves, even for the blink of an eye. Ya Allah, for every tear that fell in disappointment, for every night we felt alone, for every moment our hearts trembled, replace it with peace so beautiful that we forget we were ever hurting. Ya Allah, open a door for us that we could never open on our own. Lift us out of the darkness that we could never escape without you. Grant us the strength that feels like a miracle and the hope that feels like a new life. Ya Allah, when we can't hold on, hold us. When we can't speak, listen to our hearts. When we fall, raise us again. When we lose ourselves, bring us back to you. Ya Allah, write for us a future that is filled with your light, your mercy, your protection, and your love. Forgive our sins, heal our hearts, guide our souls, and make us among those who rise after every fall and return to you after every mistake. Ameen. There's something deeply hidden inside your struggle, something most people never notice about themselves. And if you don't understand this part, you will spend our whole life feeling defeated, thinking you're failing Allah, when in reality, Allah is elevating you. Let me take you somewhere quiet for a moment. Think about the last time temptation hit you hardest. Was it really random? Or did it come after a moment of sadness, rejection, stress, loneliness, or disappointment? Look closely. Temptation doesn't appear when life is peaceful. It appears when your heart is hurting. Because desire, it is not just about desire. It's painful wearing a disguise. Sometimes you're not craving the sin itself. You're craving escape, a moment of relief, a moment where the sadness stops, a moment where the world fades away. In today's world, a temporary escape is always one click away. A notification, a suggestion, an image, a memory, a habit you're ashamed of. But here is the painful truth. Desire offers you poison, but it tastes sweet for a moment, and afterward, you feel emptier than before. I remember a scholar once telling me, the nafs doesn't crave pleasure, it craves numbing. And suddenly everything made sense. Your cravings are not your identity. Your temptations are not your truth. They are simply signals, messages from your heart, showing you where you are wounded. Look at yourself with honesty. Why does temptation rise when you feel rejected? Because your heart seeks to feel wanted. Why does it rise when you feel unappreciated? Because your heart longs to feel seen. Why does it rise when you feel sad? Because your heart wants comfort. Why does it rise when you're stressed? Because your heart needs relief. And instead of turning those wounds toward Allah, we often turn them toward the nearest distraction. But listen carefully, because this is the turning point. Your wound is not a curse. Your wound is your doorway back to Allah. Every heartbreak, every moment of loneliness, every disappointment you've buried inside, you carry. Allah allowed them not to break you, but to pull you closer to Him. Because pain has a secret language. It speaks directly to the soul. Your desire spikes not because you're spiritually failing, but because you're emotionally wounded. And Allah is guiding you back through the very place where you feel weak. But here's something even deeper, something most people never discover. The stronger the calling on your life, the stronger the tests around your desires, the people who will one day help others, the ones whose voices will heal broken hearts, the ones Allah chooses to guide others, those people are tested hardest by their own whispers. Why? Because the devil knows that if you win this battle, you will become unshakable. He knows your potential. He sees what Allah has written for you, and he fights you because he fears what you will become. Your struggle is not a sign you are weak. It is a sign you are chosen. But you must stop fighting this battle alone. Isolation is the devil's favorite weapon. The Prophet said, the wolf takes the sheep that strays from the flock. When you hide your struggle, when you bury your pain, when you pretend everything is fine, you give your whispers power. But when you open up to someone trustworthy, when you seek support, when you break the silence, the power of temptation loses its grip. You are not meant to fight your desires alone. You are meant to fight them with Allah, with dua, with discipline, with community, and with self-awareness. And once you begin to understand the pattern, your entire life begins to change. Now there's one final truth you need to hear. And if this settles in your heart, your entire relationship with temptation will change forever. You've spent so much of your life believing that your struggle with desire makes you less worthy, less pure, less spiritual, less loved by Allah. But listen, and listen with your heart. What do you think is a sign of your distance from Allah is often the strongest proof that He is still with you. If temptation truly meant Allah abandoned you, then why would your heart feel guilt afterward? Why would your chest feel heavy? Why would your soul feel restless? People far from Allah don't feel guilt. They don't feel conflict. They don't feel pain after slipping. They feel nothing. But you feel everything. And that alone is proof that Allah never let your heart die. Your struggle is not a wall between you and Him. It is the bridge that leads you back. Think about the people you admire most. Those who walk with unshakable faith, those whose hearts feel anchored, those whose souls feel calm. Do you think they became that way through ease, through comfort, through a life without tests? No. They became that way through battles. Battles no one saw. Battles they cried through. Battles that humbled them. Battles that purified them. Allah tests the ones He wants to raise. And your test is shaping you into someone you don't even recognize yet. Someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who knows their own heart. Someone who will one day look back and say, if it wasn't for those struggles, I would have never found Allah the way I did. But here's something even more beautiful. Your battle is not just about resisting desire. It's about transforming it. Every time you say no, every time you walk away, every time you delete something for Allah's sake, every time you close your eyes, you're not just avoiding sin, you're building spiritual muscle. You're disciplining your soul. You're proving your loyalty to Allah. You're showing the angels, showing the heavens, showing your own self that your heart belongs somewhere higher. And listen, even when you fall, even when you slip, even when you break, your return is more beloved to Allah than your perfection. The Prophet said, all the children of Adam make mistakes, but the best of them are those who say, oh, repent. Not the perfect ones, not the mistake-free ones, the ones who return again and again, no matter how many times they fall. So don't let shame bury you. Don't let guilt convince you you're unworthy. Don't let whispers tell you you're too far gone. You're not too far. You never were. Because the moment you turn your face back to Allah, He runs toward you with more mercy than you can imagine. You are not broken beyond repair. You are in the process of becoming. This battle that only you and Allah truly know. This is not a detour. This is your path. The path that will one day make you unbreakable. And if you can see your struggle through this lens, your entire life will shift, because you will understand that Allah doesn't test what He doesn't value. He doesn't test hearts. He doesn't want to be near Him. He doesn't test souls. He intends to leave behind. He tests the ones He chooses, the ones He loves, the ones He is preparing for something greater, and you are one of them.